Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry now for Justice Hill. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 34. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on.
They'll go with Hill here on first down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Steelers' 35-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Get the flag. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. All day, baby. All day.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Rabbit.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson got a man. It's Brown. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. The end result, 21 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with... Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Get up! 180! 51, come on! It's been a long day for you.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 11-yard line.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Here we go, here we go!
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now it's Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole, because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A run for Hill. Oh, look at that. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go Between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he connects with Ertz. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Right here. What tight end? Everyone come up.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens' 42.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Now Trubisky to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to. Capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. Jackson. They complete it to Hill. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 46-yard line.
54, line 54. check 3. Check. Fresno. Slam. Yeah.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, they have had success when he keeps the ball in the option, but not there. I mean, you just saw exactly why many old NFL coaches would say, don't use your quarterback in the running game.
Now it's Jackson. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they've managed to get it done.
So they'll play the field position game here, as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's Trubisky to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the ball is knocked out. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement? That play generates for his team, not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, it can really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get get points on the board here, I think you're feeling okay. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Trubisky. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Evans. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points when you're down 21-0. We're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 42. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. It's Jackson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Justin Evans. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. That pick six extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. To the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
To throw is Stewart on 3rd down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Hill. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Nice, sweet up.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. On 2nd down, it's Hill. Space to run past the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Come on, QB, come on.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Justice Hill. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is good. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 20. On the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch the flag, watch the flag, watch the flag. Watch the flag, motion, block. Hey, exit. Ready.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. With it is Brown. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Down, get on the bench. Check, 55 to Mike. Get ready, get ready.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Get the ball.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh. I got one.
Stewart now from the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more excitement.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Let's go. Let's go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
36. Now.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, the first play in the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here a throw taken in by Watkins. That throw good for only a couple and brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw. Stewart. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
54. Check.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Set 18 Gator. So don't say nothing. Ready.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
So we got man. 5.
To throw on 2nd down. Stewart. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Steelers on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Stewart operating from the gun. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
At the 45-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a 10th carry for Hill. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Jackson. Well, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 44-yard line. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Hill, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
You think you gonna get this? Where'd he go? You think you gonna get this? Shoot. Check 24, check 24. Check 31, check 31. Oh!
They run the counter. It's Benson, and not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Rashad Perriman off to the races. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 1st touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Got it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Extra point forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
58's the money.
From the gun on 3rd down, Sanders. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Trubisky will throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. First down, and it's Hill again. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 31-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Come on here, come get some. He don't want it. 25, check 25, check 25. Hatchet.
On 2nd down, Hill. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Well, they have had success when he keeps the ball running it, but not in that situation. I mean, I think we got an example of why NFL coaches really don't like their quarterback in the running game.
Because whether he keeps it or not, he's likely going to take a hit, isn't he?
No doubt about it. And defenses, they're looking to put that hit on a quarterback.
And his kick is indeed good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
On the ready.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion.